Imagine spending years memorizing every single detail of a textbook, only to fail the real-world test. Sounds frustrating, right? Well, that's exactly what happens in machine learning with a phenomenon called overfitting. It's when a model becomes so obsessed with the details of its training data that it loses the ability to generalize. But here's the twist. Overfitting isn't just a machine learning problem. It's a mirror to our own lives. Today, we'll explore why chasing perfection might be the most imperfect thing we can do. Welcome to Spectrum Nexus, where we connect the dots between math, physics, psychology, machine learning, and science through stories that make you think. Today, we're diving into the fascinating concept of overfitting, not just as a machine learning problem, but as a mirror to our own lives. By the end of this video, you'll see how chasing perfection can sometimes lead us astray, and how embracing imperfection might just be the key to growth. Let's start with the basics. In machine learning, overfitting is like that one student who memorizes every word of a textbook, but can't answer a single question on the exam. Why? Because they didn't truly understand the material. They got lost in the details, the noise, the outliers, and missed the bigger picture. It's like trying to predict the weather by memorizing every cloud you've ever seen. Sounds ridiculous, right? But that's exactly what overfitting does. It creates a model so complex, so detailed, that it becomes useless in the real world. And the solution? We simplify. We strip away the noise and focus on what truly matters. Now here's where it gets interesting. Overfitting isn't just a machine learning problem. It's something we all do in life. Think about superstitions. Have you ever worn a lucky shirt because you won a game while wearing it? Or avoided stepping on cracks because, well, just in case? That's overfitting. We're drawing patterns from random events, creating false connections that don't really exist. And it doesn't stop there. In relationships, we sometimes focus so much on tiny flaws that we lose sight of the bigger picture. It's like overfitting our emotions, memorizing the noise and forgetting the signal. Here's the irony. Nature is infinitely complex, yet it operates on simple, elegant principles. A tree doesn't need to memorize every leaf's position to grow. It just follows a few fundamental rules. But us? We love complexity. We chase perfection, overanalyze every detail, and end up losing sight of what really matters. Overfitting reminds us that sometimes less is more. It's a humbling lesson in simplicity. And that brings us to the deeper truth. Overfitting is proof that we are never complete. No matter how much we learn or how complex we become, we can never fully simulate or understand the universe. And that's okay. In fact, it's beautiful. It's a reminder that imperfection is part of being human. Just as a machine learning model needs to generalize, we need to focus on what truly matters, letting go of the noise and embracing the signal. Overfitting is like memorizing without understanding. True learning happens when we focus on the underlying principles, not just the details. Think about it. A student who memorizes formulas without understanding the concepts will struggle in real-world applications. It's like building a house on sand. It might look good at first, but it won't stand the test of time. Overfitting leads to superstitions and irrational beliefs. By simplifying our thought process, we can make better decisions. Take a gambler, for example. They see patterns in random events, overfitting their experience, and end up making poor choices. It's a reminder that sometimes the simplest explanation is the right one. Overfitting stifles creativity. When we focus too much on rules and details, we lose the ability to think outside the box. Imagine an artist who obsesses over perfection. They might never finish a painting, but the one who embraces imperfection, they create something unique, something real. It's a lesson in letting go and trusting the process. So, how do we handle overfitting? In machine learning, we use techniques like regularization, adding a gentle constraint to keep the model from getting lost in the noise. It's like a quiet reminder to stay balanced, to focus on what truly matters. Or, in neural networks, we might skip layers or use dropout, temporarily silencing parts of the network to keep it adaptable. These methods aren't just clever tricks. They're inspired by how we learn and grow. After all, these models are simulations of us. Our ability to generalize, to adapt, to find patterns without getting stuck in the details. And that's where we can learn from them. When we catch ourselves overthinking or obsessing over every little thing, maybe we need our own version of regularization, a moment to pause, to breathe, to remind ourselves that life isn't about memorizing every detail. It's about finding the signal in the noise, the simplicity in the complexity. By embracing this balance, we can learn to thrive, not just in machine learning, but in life itself. Overfitting teaches us that perfection is an illusion. Whether in machine learning or in life, the key is to find balance, embracing complexity without losing sight of simplicity. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by the details, remember, sometimes less really is more. What's your take on overfitting? Have you ever caught yourself overcomplicating things? Share your thoughts in the comments below.